Joe Piff. I have a freshman here, Walter Johnson, and a daughter who's class of 2010 from Walter Johnson. I'd like to ask a specific question about the social emotional learning curriculum. And I'm surprised this hasn't come up, but the situation with Newtown, Connecticut, we've been fortunate that we haven't seen that in a long time in Montgomery County. What I would like to see in the social emotional learning curriculum, and I'm thinking that it's probably there, is training for our students on how to deal with situations where they're upset with another person.
So let me talk about it in a couple different ways. First, let me say the social emotional competency development is not a curriculum, right? There's not, and there are curriculums and programs out there, but it's a mindset. And the reason it's got to be a mindset is because you can't, until you really understand what it means to attend to someone's social emotional competencies, it's not something you can just sort of do. You can't force it. You have to, like, and I know it sounds nebulous, but once you understand, so I'll give you an example, right? I used to work with severely emotionally disturbed adolescents. The most important time I spent was at the door as they walked down the hallway, right? Because when I could see them walking down the hallway, and when they came into my class, and I could check in and see how they were doing, and I knew what kind of day they were having, what kind of day I was going to have. I was attuned to how they were feeling. I mean, it's a trick in your repertoire, but it's not a curriculum, right? It's just something you do. Everybody, I think, can do that, right? Talking to kids in hallways when they get off the bus, right? Who's the first person our kids see, right, is the bus driver, right? If the bus driver needs to be attuned to kids' social emotional sort of space, which can really help with problems, not only on the bus, but at the school as well. So it's not about a curriculum. And what we're asking is every school, when we're going to really start working on this next year with leadership, for every school to have an approach that works for them. There's not a one-size-fits-all program for it, right? We're raising awareness and consciousness right now. Different schools have been doing different things, but it's not one-size-fits-all. It's got to be something that works for that school community. And I know that sounds different than the way we've done things in the past, where we just sort of handed the red binder to everybody in the beginning of the year and said, this is what you do, follow the script. It's not the way you do it. So that's one piece. We do a lot, actually, in teaching kids to be very conscious of what's going on around them. And we can always do more. But it's really interesting to see. I mean, kids will tell, you know, we always need to encourage it more, but kids will tell adults what's going on. I mean, when I get the incident reports, I mean, I see what's going on, and invariably, we found out about something because a child has raised an issue to another, to an adult, and said, you know, hey, you should see what's going on with so-and-so and such and such. Or, I heard about this. And our kids have become much more comfortable doing that, and we're always working at it as well. But again, it goes back to the relationship piece. If you have really strong relationships in a school and a culture in a school where people are taking care of each other and highly engaged, that's why we're measuring engagement right now, you get that kind of activity all the time. Tomas.